I can still feel the pressure in my lungs, the final gasp rattling in my throat. I remember the weight of the world tipping off its axis as the knife sank in. Then darkness. And yet, here I am, standing in the entryway of my own funeral, watching mourners drift past in hushed disbelief. I died yesterday, but this morning I woke up. It feels like cheating death, like discovering the universe kept score differently than we thought. My name is Jason Rook, once a private detective on the verge of quitting, now a restless spirit tethered to the living world. I can't pass through walls, but I can slip between moments, an echo on the edge of time. Every memory I had, every promise I made, is intact. Even the last thought before the steel appetite of the blade claimed me. Who did this? Now, armed with spectral foresight, I know precisely who killed me. The revelation is both liberating and terrifying. To solve my own murder, I must wield a power I never wanted. The ability to bend the hours, to retrace each footstep until I unmask the killer. Only then can I find peace, or perhaps something far stranger lies ahead. Everything went black when the blade found its mark. I remember spinning under the street lamp's jaundiced glare, taste of copper on my tongue. My thoughts fragmented, one of shock, one of disbelief. How did I not see it coming? Then silence swallowed me. No pain, no warmth, just void. I woke in my own bedroom at dawn. Sunlight spilled through the blinds, and I blinked at the ceiling, heart still hammering. My hand reached to my side, no wound, no blood. My pulse thudded in my wrist. It was morning, but it felt like a mirage. I tried to spring up, but something held me back, an invisible weight, like a tether to the mattress. I sat there, mind racing. I'm alive. Except I wasn't. Because when I rose from the bed later that day, I found my name in the obituary column, and a throng of black-clad mourners at my parents' house. They all believed me dead. I discovered I existed in a curious limbo, the between. I couldn't interact with the physical world, no one heard me speak, no one saw me move. But I could witness every moment of the living world, free to drift unseen. More astonishingly, I could slip into the past 24 hours, replaying events as if I were a ghost recording evidence. But this time loop power had limits, each jump cost me energy, and my window closed precisely at the stroke of midnight, when my funeral would end, and the living would bury me for good. I had 24 hours to pinpoint the killer, to corner them in the present, or risk eternal oblivion. I hovered near the casket, watching my own face carved in waxen repose. My mother's face crumpled in grief, my father's stoic veneer cracked with each sob. Among the mourners, I spotted familiar figures, old friends who wouldn't believe it, clients I never closed cases for, and a man in a charcoal suit who lingered at the fringes. His posture struck me as odd. Too composed, too observant. I recognized him instantly, Robert Castaneda, a local businessman who'd hired me last month to investigate rumors of corporate espionage. At the time, I'd unearthed enough dirt to derail his merger deal, but I'd never delivered the final report. He'd been furious, promising consequences. Desperate, I slipped the hour back to dawn. I watched myself storm into Castaneda's office the previous morning, brandishing his incriminating documents. His forced smile soured when I refused his bribe to bury the evidence. I saw the anger flare in his eyes, an instant before a heavy bronze statuette arced through the air, smashing against the wall. Fortunately, I ducked. In the between, I recorded every detail, the tilt of his jaw, the tremor in his fist, the glint of something metallic on his desk. My old instincts kicked in, this was more than a business dispute. Castaneda was dangerous. Using my spectral form, I trailed Castaneda through the morning, into the parking garage, across the street. He paused at a black sedan, glancing nervously around. The driver's window slid down, and a hand, gloved, exchanged a thick envelope. Cash. From that moment, I knew two things: Castaneda had motive, and he wasn't alone. I looped back again, this time to visit my assistant, Mia. She'd been the only one who knew my schedule inside out. In the real world, Mia had tearfully helped plan my funeral. In the loop, I found her packing my office. I drifted among the files, absorbing her methodical efficiency. I caught sight of a photograph on her desk, Mia and me, smiling at my last birthday party, flanked by two other faces I barely recognized. Their name tags, Evan Cross and Natalie Vega, junior associates in Castaneda's firm. I filed that away. That night, I slipped into the darkened conference room of Castaneda's headquarters. Papers lay scattered across the table. Non-disclosure agreements, withdrawal forms, and an email printout from me detailing the espionage findings. But at the head of the table sat 3 men and 2 women, Castaneda, Cross, Vega, and 2 unfamiliar faces in crisp suits. They exchanged hushed words about eliminating the problem, myself. I hovered close enough to taste the tension. "He knows too much," Cross whispered. Vega nodded, eyes cold. One of the strangers slipped something small and silver to Castaneda. It looked like a transponder of some kind. That was my second confirmation: the murder was premeditated, executed by professionals. Their network stretched far beyond a simple business rivalry. In the limbo, guilt weighed on me. I'd taken the Castaneda case for the fee, never suspecting the danger it carried. I'd ignored the oddness of Mia's sudden promotion out of sympathy for her debt. I'd dismissed the questions about Cross and Vega's backgrounds. Each oversight now felt. The third dawn found me exhausted. My energy flickered with each time loop jump. I had only hours left. At midnight, the funeral would conclude, mourners would file into hearses, and I would vanish too, losing my chance to take down the killers. I needed a plan that worked in the present timeline, without rewinding. I had to force them to reveal themselves before the clock struck 12. I discovered a trick: I could whisper in the ears of the living, planting fleeting thoughts. It was subtle, a breeze of suggestion. I approached Mia as she reviewed emails, and whispered, "Check the parking garage footage." She paused, frowned, and typed furiously. I hovered by her shoulder, unable to intervene further but satisfied the seed had been sown. By evening, Mia found the film. "Jason," she whispered to the empty room. The video showed Castaneda meeting with Cross, Vega, and the 2 strangers, exchanging the envelope, and later, a shot of me leaving Castaneda's building. She noted the timestamp. It aligned with the moment I died. Realization dawned: the killers had set me up, creating a frame, tying my investigation to a staged accident or suicide. Now, with Mia's help, we had proof of their collusion. In the final hours, I enlisted Mia to help me. Though she couldn't see me, my whispered urgings guided her. She called the police under the pretense of an emergency meeting at Castaneda's office, bringing along her own doubts and courage. At 11:45 p.m., the team assembled in Castaneda's skyscraper lobby. I drifted unseen, heart pounding. The police arrived in unmarked cars. Mia's tip had been convincing. Cross and Vega tried to flee, but officers intercepted them. Castaneda, cornered, froze. The strangers brandished concealed weapons. I felt the air crackle with tension. In my old life, I'd never staged such a sting. But now, guiding Mia, I directed the police, ensuring they had the right commands and positions. Moments later, Cross and Vega were cuffed. Castaneda's face drained of its usual composure. Castaneda lunged, pulling a knife, his signature bronze statuette blade. He advanced on Mia. I pushed myself forward in the between, willing her to notice the glint of steel. She spun, saw the blade, and ducked behind a pillar. A shot rang out. One of the officers had his gun drawn. Castaneda fell, the blade clattering. In that heartbeat, justice was served. The network crumbled as police unveiled documents from Mia's briefcase, financial records, video evidence. The strangers were revealed as hired mercenaries, taken into custody. Midnight approached. I felt my strength waning. The funeral was nearly over, my coffin lay waiting in the hearse outside the church. In the final loop, I returned to the moment before I woke, hoping for one last moment of reflection. I found myself by the river where it first began, the alley behind Castaneda's office. The knife flew through the air once again. I stepped toward the assailant, hand raised, not to stop him but to watch closely as the moment repeated. It was my last chance to bear witness, to ensure I truly understood. When the knife struck, I felt only a wave of serenity wash over me. I opened my eyes in the coffin. Mourners lined the street, friends honoring me, their tears not the tears of death but of relief. Mia stood at the front, eyes red but resolute. She nodded once, a silent message, "It's done." I closed my eyes, and this time, I didn't resist. The tether that held me loosened. My final thought wasn't of vengeance but of gratitude, for Mia, for justice, for a life reclaimed even in death. They lowered the lid. Darkness. Then, beyond darkness, a soft glow. I hovered at the boundary, neither alive nor entirely gone. I realized the between state was my new home, a realm of echoes and memories, where lost souls like me could guide the living. As the coffin sealed, I felt a faint smile curl in the silence. I died yesterday. But I lived again, not for revenge alone, but to watch over those I left behind. My killer unmasked, my purpose renewed, welcome to my eternity.